Okay, what's the word, bird? Because today it's gonna be nice and juicy. I literally am really excited for this video. Obviously, you guys saw what the title was, and maybe you know who I am, maybe you don't, but I am Nick, your average girl, and I think this is gonna be a fun one. I don't know why. I just love talking and I love spilling the tea. And that's very much so what this video is today. So that's what's gonna happen. Quick thank you, of course, to everyone who's been supporting your girl. Okay, we are really getting into it or whatever. Make sure you guys are following me on IG and TikTok. And I don't really get on Twitch, but Twitch as well. I might start streaming on there at Nick, your average girl. And yeah. I love you guys. Thanks. Okay, so right into it. I'm going to give you guys the rundown on how exactly I'm going to structure this video. So I kind of give you everything that needs to be gave, you know? So I've definitely have people that I probably could categorize as an ex in this video, we were talking really heavy and stuff, but I didn't. And I pretty much just listed off the last 3 people I dated. Honestly, I skipped one, but he just had a baby, and I was like, I don't even want to worry about that. So, pretty much my 3, not most memorable, because I'm missing a few, but 3 of the pretty relevant exes that I've had, I'm going to give you guys all the tea on what happened and all that stuff, okay? So, I'm going to go one by one, pretty much from the guy I dated first to my most recent ex. Hello. And I'm just going to tell you guys what it was. So I'll let you guys know pretty much how we met, what I liked about our relationship, what I didn't like about the relationship, how we connected intimately, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. Why we broke up, and what I learned from the relationship. I actually just did a video not too long ago, so make sure you guys check it out, on short-lived relationships, but I mentioned in that video how I literally always kind of learn something from a relationship. It's not just boom, boom, boom. I take something from it, and I just want to let you guys know what I got from these 3 men right here. Oh, woo! Let's get into it, okay? So my first ex, and you guys are lucky because I'm going to show pictures. Oh, actually, full disclaimer before I get really into it, I did ask 2 of these 3 guys if they were cool with me, doing this video and all that stuff. One just never responded, but he also didn't open it either. So, I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't feel a way about it, but we'll just see. We'll see. The first guy up is going to be Drew. And I dated Drew in high school. I want to say it was my junior year of high school. I'm 23 now, so I think I was 17. And we got together. I don't really even know why we got together. I had known him literally since middle school. We were BFFs since either elementary or middle school, 4th or 5th grade. And that was my dog. Okay, we were very good friends. We could literally just be ourselves all the time, and we were always freaking cracking up. That's one thing about Drew and I. We were always keying about something. And a lot throughout our friendship. So then we got into high school, and I don't really know how it came about, to be completely honest. I don't remember. Maybe he does. But I don't really remember how that came about. Where it was okay, I'm feeling you, you feeling me. I know we're friends, but are we going to do this or no? I don't really know. So I guess I don't really have an answer to that, but I had known him for literally years before that. One thing I really liked about our relationship was that because we built that friendship before, I was 110% comfortable. That man has seen the ugliest sides of me. And I mean physically. Literally, we would, be making ugly faces and shit and just, being funny. So, he has already seen that side of me. So I didn't really have to warm up to it. I already could be myself. I wasn't worried about it. You just kind of add on, the dating part and, the more intimate stuff, pretty much. So that was probably the best. And one of the most, I think he's probably one of the most comfortable boyfriends, I've had. I was very, very comfortable with Drew. For sure. And side note, I feel we kind of looked cute together, side by side. I was okay, cute, cute. It was not a bad look, you know. What I didn't necessarily like or wasn't really fond of during our relationship was it seemed we were always freaking hanging out with his friends, literally all the time. We were always kicking it with his friends and his friends' girlfriends, and I just feel we didn't really have that much alone time just to hang out by ourselves. And mind you, his friends are not my friends. That's not nothing's wrong with him, but it just wasn't my crowd or like the people I'm like used to hanging out with. So I was never that comfortable. And so it's just like, it was kind of just like whenever you go to like a party and you don't know anyone at the party and you're like there and like, yeah, like you're there, but you don't know anyone, you're not as comfortable as you would be if it was like a party with your friends. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably like the one thing I was like, I was so over it. Like that low-key drove me nuts. I don't know if I ever told him that, but yeah, it drove me nuts. As far as the intimacy, I don't really remember all that much, but I feel like for me it wasn't there, and I think it was because I kind of still saw him as a friend. Like, that was a weird transition for me, and it was just like everything about him I liked, like in the friend level, and then we did like pretty much like move to the intimate stuff, and I don't know, I don't think I was as into it as I thought I would have been, given we had been friends and had like this great chemistry. Like, that was definitely something that was really surprising to me, because I just would have thought being friends for like all that time, like, I don't know, like it was never bad or anything like that, and there was nothing wrong with it. It was just like, it was kind of weird to like first kiss him and stuff. It was just like, what? Like, what? And one thing I would take away from this relationship is, if you're going to date your friend, you need to be 110% sure like that's your person, or be ready to lose the friendship. Because honestly, once we broke up, it was not the same. Like, we definitely did not have that bond, and chemistry was gone, at least on my end. Like, it just did not feel the same. And that kind of sucks, because we were really good friends. So if you're gonna date your friend and you really want to like go for that like type of relationship vibe, couple goal vibe, like, be ready. Either be 110% sure they're for you, or be ready to lose the friendship if it don't work out. Okay, so that's the first ex. The second ex I want to touch on is Jordan. And I have not found pictures yet, so I don't know what picture I just threw up here. But when it came to me and Jordan, I feel like, kind of like how I said me and Drew like look good standing next to each other, I don't know if me and Jordan really like looked like a good couple. You know what I'm saying? Like a good fit. I don't know. I don't really know if that's like, I don't know if it was a good look. But pretty much, if you guys haven't seen this video, I actually did an interview with Jordan, and we kind of like touched on a lot of the things I'm going to touch on now, but in a lot more depth, baby, okay? So make sure you guys head over. I will leave the link in the description box below for you guys to watch that full video. So how I met Jordan was, he was actually like a mutual friend of mine, or like a friend of mine, and I knew him in St. Louis, but pretty much I ended up moving out to Los Angeles, and he ironically enough did too. Him and he had a group of guys that he moved out there with, and we all like moved out there at the same time. Weird. And Jordan was one of those guys, like, and this is such a weird sense. I literally shit you not. Like, what I'm about to say is so weird, but I just know. Okay, like my intuition, like I will see someone, and it's usually like if it's like somewhere I'm gonna see him again. So like obviously I knew he was friends with her. I was gonna probably see him around. But when I first saw him, I just knew like something was gonna come of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that just sounds so weird, but I do that all the time. Like, I had like people that I work with, like I'll look at them and I'm like, something's gonna come out of this. I feel it, and it be just that. Okay, period. So anyway, I had that same like gut feeling, intuition with Jordan when I first met him in St. Louis, and I didn't really see him too much honestly in St. Louis. It was just like here and there randomly. We didn't really talk that much. Anyway, so then we all moved out to LA, and then we all started kicking it a lot more. So pretty much we all started hanging out a lot, and so, you know, she had a couple friends, then he had his friends, and I was just kind of there. Like, I didn't really know any of them very well. I was like, okay, like I'm feeling Jordan, like I'm feeling him or whatever. And so I told like our mutual friend, and so pretty much supposedly him and one of the other girls in the group were like had some sort of relations, but the gag is like I peep everything, okay? Like they were never booed up, they were never cuddly, like they barely talked when we all hung out, so I never got that vibe. So anyway, she had told me like that was a thing, and I was like, okay, well, obviously I'm gonna fall back. And ironically enough, whenever I mentioned it to her, like, then homegirl wants to start being all up on him, like all in my face and all up on him. I'm like, oh, but you haven't been the last 2 months, so that's ironic, but it's fine. Okay. So one day, all the boys came over and they were hanging out with me and my other friend, that not in the friend group. And then we came back to my apartment and the guys left except Jordan. Period. He ain't slick. Okay. So he stayed. He comes and he's kicking it with me, but it was him, me, and my friend. So we were all just kicking it. And so she was on one bed, and then I was on another bed sitting, and then Jordan was laying down on my bed. Now, we weren't booed up. Like, I don't think there was anything really wrong besides the fact that, like, he probably shouldn't have been there. Like, if we're going to keep it a buck, he should have just left with the guys. But he had his intentions, and he probably wanted to stay for a reason. Or whatever. Pretty much that caused a whole blowout argument, and homegirl was heated, and we all like had a group discussion or whatever, and she's going off, and then he's like, well, I like both of you, and I was like, boy, head ass, like, what? Anyway, so then at that point I really didn't have any friends because homegirl and, you know, my roommate, like, they were already friends before. Like, I didn't really have friends there now because it was just them, and those were the only people I was hanging out with the whole time I was in LA. Okay, so pretty much obviously I like migrated over to Jordan and his friends, and like during that whole shebang, he pretty much had said that he was feeling me, and I was like, well, obviously I'm feeling him, and I told my roommate that. So boom, relationship. What I liked about it was that Jordan was very supportive. So I moved to LA to dance professionally, and he was very supportive of that. Like, probably number one supporter ever, like, even to this point. Like, he always hyped me up, and he was always encouraging me to be my best and do my best, and that I was that bitch when it came to dance. Like, I very much so wasn't, for real, because there's so many amazing dancers out there. But he really was making me feel like I was that bitch or whatever. So I definitely appreciate that. That was definitely number one thing that I liked. One thing I really didn't like, though, is that I ended up putting all of my focus on him. Like, I was always the one going over there, and I was in North Hollywood and he was in Hollywood, so, like, it wasn't a drive, but it was, like, still inconvenient. So, like, I would always go over there, and he would be doing his music, and I would just be sitting there, and it's just like, okay. Like, I ended up putting him before me and my goals, and I can't really put that on him. Like, that's on me, but it was just unfortunate because that pretty much led to the breakup. Oh, shit. I just remembered I did not tell you guys why me and Drew broke up. Reel it in. Okay, I forgot. So me and Drew broke up because literally his ex texted me a screenshot of their conversation, and in the conversation he was like, I do miss you, but blah, 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 blah. I ain't care about nothing besides I do miss you. Boy, you ain't have to tell her that. So that pretty much started a whole fight, and then I tried to, like, once I realized I was going to be lonely, I tried to take it back. And then that didn't happen because I compared him to a different ex of mine. Yikes. And yeah, so that's how that happened. Back to you, Jordan. So, yeah, I pretty much just put him first, and that's just pretty much my fault. Like, he didn't do anything, but I began to resent him, which wasn't good. Intimacy, I think it was, like, fine. Like, I don't really remember, honestly, and that sounds so bad, but I feel like the attraction was there. Like, when we were together, like, it was there. But I really don't remember. I don't know why. Like, but I'm pretty sure, like, it was, like, fine because, like, we were attracted to one another. So I think, like, intimately, like, we were good. And then Jordan and I broke up pretty much, like, because of that resentment. Like, I was pretty much getting down on myself because I know I wasn't doing what I could have been doing. And I felt like he was a big distraction for me, and I began to resent him. And it was just built up, pented up stuff. And then some messy stuff happened with my roommate, which is, like, you know, his old friend group, and I was, like, venting to him, and I just did not get the response that I wanted. Like, are you on my side or are you not on my side? And honestly, that was not a big deal. I was very dramatic during the breakup, but I wasn't trying to hear it. Okay, I really was not. So, that was my little excuse as to why I wanted to break things off, but ultimately it was all that built up, what's the word? Resentment. So yeah, that was that, and then poof, bye Jordan. And then last but not least, we have Fave. Now I'm gonna just say this, we definitely looked good together. Like, I think, like, put two and two, like, we looked good as a couple. I think we complimented each other, like, look physically, like, yeah. Yeah. And pretty much how we met, oh God, messy. But I'm here to give all the tea, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Pretty much, I'm awful. I met him because I was talking to his friend first. That's so bad. That is so bad. That is just not a good look. Anyways, so pretty much like I would see him out whenever like all of us went out as a group and like a, you know, whatever, our friend group would go. So then me and his friend stopped talking, which that was very short-lived too. I think it was like maybe 2 months. You know, and I was just not really like digging it that much or whatever, but pretty much some time had went by and I was doing a project, like I was doing like a dance video thing, and I was looking for guy dancers. I had all the girl dancers, some of my friends, like we were good, and I was looking for guy dancers, which personally I had a problem with because the only like really, really like intense like professional guy dancers I knew were like training like with someone else, and they were just like way too busy. I'm like, this is just like a funsy video, like, so I had a hard time finding guys that would be willing to like do the project with me. So then I remember Fave, because Fave dances, he pretty much like does, he's an artist all around. So I was like, okay, like he like kind of dances, like let me hit him up. And did I have to? No. Like if we gonna be honest, no, I did not need to do that. But ultimately I did. So I had him come do the dance, and it was cool. Like we had like multiple rehearsals. We were there for a couple weeks, and the vibes was good. Everyone was kicking it. Things were great. Honestly, like let's keep it a buck, I was attracted to him. I was attracted to him initially too. So that's why my ass was all, this is so bad. I am so bad. Like this is not okay. But I'm giving you the tea and it is what it is. So whatever. So pretty much I think him and I both like took our friend's dance class, and pretty much we were leaving, and I don't know, I think something about walking someone to the car maybe is how that happened. I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, is he interested? And I pretty much messaged him, and I was like, hey, like, what are you doing tonight? And he was like, nothing, come on. He was ready, though. I will say he was ready. I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. Like, it was not just me. I did end up going over there, and so that first time we hung out, like, we definitely had the conversation. I was like, dude, like, this is definitely, like, pretty fucked. Like, kind of messed up. So I was like, honestly, like, I like your vibes, like, I'm feeling you, but I feel like you guys need to have that conversation. Like, I didn't feel like I owed it to his friend, because I'm like, well, you're not my friend, like, you're his friend, and I would expect my friend to, like, I would expect to have the conversation with my friend, like, I wouldn't have it with, like, someone I dated or talked to, you know what I'm saying, like, because they don't really owe that to me. So that's how I felt. I was like, okay, you guys talk about it, and his friend was super cool about it, like, literally still now, like, support him, and, like, mess with him, like, till this day, like, and I mean, not, like, mess with him like that, I mean, like, I fuck with him, like, we're cool, no bad blood at all, so, which is very rare. So he's a very, very, very mature and, good guy, because if it were me, I'd be like, bitch, no. Once we got the okay from his friend, like, everything was smooth, and yeah, that's how we got together. So what I liked about dating Fave was that I feel like he really liked showing me off, and that made me feel really confident, and like we could go out and be social together. Like it was one of those things, like if I'm there, like so is my girl, like, and I really like that, because no one I've been with, I didn't really get that vibe as much as I did with Fave. So it was like, it was nice just feeling like he's actually like, you know, like he's like proud of the girl that I am. Like he's proud to like, okay, like he pulled her, like, okay. So it made me feel good. And we were definitely social. Like we had gone out and we like kick it with his friends and, you know, sometimes my friends, and we just like, we're always just outside dressed up looking good. Okay. Period. Oh gosh, what I did not like is that we were always freaking arguing, dude. Like we literally bumped heads, and I think it's just because we were both like very like, I don't know, like I find myself more of a dominant person more than submissive, and I think he's the same way. So we were always freaking clashing. I mean, we argued about literally the stupidest things. It drove me nuts. Like if you heard some of the phone calls I had with my best friend just like talking about this stupid shit, like you'd be like, Nikki, what? Like I could not take it. And it was just all the time. Like more times than not, I felt like we were arguing. And mind you, like we had gotten together like right before quarantine. Like, what is this fuzzy? Maybe it's my hair. We had gotten together right before quarantine, and so we ended up quarantining together for a little bit, and so we were with each other 24/7. And I think that kind of set the tone, and it just kind of like, we just got to know each other a lot faster than we probably would have otherwise. The intimacy, A1. Like, it was there. It was there. I was attracted to him. You could tell, like, his attraction to me was, like, just the same. Like, we were good. That was smooth. There was no issues there. I'm not getting into detail for y'all, but it was A1. And then why we broke up was pretty much kind of the same thing with Jordan. Like, over time, like, I just started resenting him more so because we did keep clashing. Like, I just felt like we could never have a discussion. It always had to be a disagreement and turn into something unnecessary. And I'm sure I played some sort of role in that, but just kind of being who I am, and I think him being who he was, like, we was going at it, okay? It was that built up resentment, and I just was at a point where I had my own goals. Like, I had just started getting into trading, and if you guys, like, follow me for a little bit, like, I was very much into learning how to trade Forex, like, very into it, and I'm still kind of getting back into it now. If you're wondering why I stopped, it's just a little too inconsistent, so I just needed some consistent money to make sure I would be good regardless, but I'm dabbling with it now too, so just if you're curious, little side note. So pretty much I was just over it at that point. I'm like, dude, like, I have other things I'm trying to figure out and work on, and then with us going out that much, I felt like I wasn't doing what I was wanting to do, which was like trading. So yeah, it was just kind of built up, and for me, I was like, I think I'm good. Yeah, so we just ended up cutting it there, and it just was what it was. And I keep forgetting. I literally realized that I forgot to talk about what I learned with Jordan as I was about to tell you what I learned from Fave. Eye roll. So going back to Jordan real quick. What I learned with Jordan was that I need to be honest and communicate how I'm feeling. And honestly, I was very blunt. Like, let's not lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I kept it a buck if I was salty about, like, a situation, but, like, the built up feelings, like, I let my emotions build up. Like, don't do that. Like, just communicate them, figure out if it's gonna work for you or not, and keep it pushing. Okay, so you don't waste nobody's time. Back to Fave, pretty much I learned, like, don't rush. Me and Fave got together so quick, dude. So quick. And I feel like COVID had, like, played a role in that because we were at that point, like, stuck together. Like, we were quarantined. We were quarantined together for that period of time, and, like, it just, like, it was like living with him. And I think before you do anything, you really need to get to know a person for real. But yeah, I just rushed into things so quick with him, and I think if we just had more time to, like, date and hang out, I probably would have noticed that we have very similar, like, headstrong personalities, if that makes sense, and I probably would have realized more early on that it might not be a good fit. So yeah, that's kind of what I got from Fave, even though I still kind of rush, but it's fine. So anyways, I hope you guys got some tea and you enjoyed this video. It was actually really fun for me to do. Thank you to all my exes, because literally, like, there's no bad blood with any of them as far as I know, so I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are following them and reaching out to them on social media. Drew isn't really on it, but Jordan is an artist and Fave is an artist as well. So I will definitely be linking their IG handles and linking, like, their other channels and whatnot in the description below. So please make sure that you guys check them out. That's one thing about me, is I'm able to find some talented men. Okay. And that being said, make sure you're also following me at Nick Your Average Girl on IG and TikTok. And don't forget to describe why can I not talk? And do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've slowly and surely been growing because of you guys. I seriously appreciate you. I love you, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know anything else you guys want to see, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.